I'm Anna Derbyshire, the CitizenGO USA campaign director, and I'm pleased to welcome my new and dear friend, Catalina Stubbe from Moms for Liberty, to our CitizenGO family today. I'm so glad you're here with us today, Catalina.
Thank you so much for your invitation. You have been very, very nice to invite me.
Well, it's great to have you here. Those who have seen you on Fox Friends, War Room, Stephen Bannon, and I can't even list all the shows, already know what a powerful voice that you have, advocating for parental rights, children, families. So as we dive into that, actually, that strength from our families usually comes from some other basis. So I just kind of want to ask you, what's the bedrock of your view from that, from maybe your childhood or your education? What brought you to this idea that this is an important thing to fight for?
So listen, I am a mom of four, and I realized that my children were indoctrinated from decades ago. And when I discovered that, because at the beginning, when I saw the difference in the on the education, at the beginning, I was thinking, do you think it's the gap, generational gap that
Mm-hmm.
are between them and I? Do you think is I am doing something wrong? Maybe they are doing something wrong, and you try to blame something. You
Right.
know there is a problem. You know that your children are thinking differently than you, and even if you think different than your mom and your dad, it's not on values, it's not on the essential and common sense things in life.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see that, for example, your child, it's okay with abortion, and then for generation in your family, what they are teaching you is to respect life, is
Right.
to respect your parents, is to respect the obviously your teacher, is to respect each other and be tolerant. And suddenly you see your children, and then I see the friends of my children.
Mm-hmm.
And my turning point was at that moment when one of the best friend of my child, my oldest child,
Mm-hmm.
came identifying as the opposite sex. And I'm like, whoa, something is wrong, because she was completely normal. She
Yeah.
didn't seem to me that she has any problem. She has been influential by what? By who?
Mm-hmm.
So when I start looking and investigating, I realize they have been indoctrinated by the government, by the educational system. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not even only that. When you realize that DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, is in everything, is in entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
it's in the music, is in the fashion industry, is in absolutely everything around that surrounds your life,
Yes.
you obviously will think very differently at your
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 generations ago.
Right.
And this is when I start getting involved, trying to first saving my children, and then I'm talking with other moms and saying, listen, we have actually the same problem. We
Mhm.
can actually save the world, and let's get
Yeah.
together and we find so many solutions. And we especially identify that if we become together, we're stronger and we have a powerful voice and we change things. That's why Moms for Liberty became so strong as an organization. And now it's one of the most
Yeah.
fast
Yes.
growing nonprofit organization across the country. And
Mm-hmm.
now we are in 48 states.
That's
Now we are having 100. I don't remember exactly the number, but we are in so many counties, changing school boards,
mm-hmm.
changing legislation. We're
Yes.
proposing bills. Now
Mm.
we're really taking action. That's why I also have a radio show that is called Padres en Acción, which is in Spanish, is for the Hispanic community, very important here in our country. And you cannot neglect this 62 million Hispanics in our
Yes.
country, that
Yes.
more than 60% are eligible to vote. And
Mm.
this is numbers are like from more than 3 years ago,
Right.
which in the last
Growing.
3 years changed a lot.
Yes.
So I start making a change. It's a small change, but I think we are doing a lot of difference.
So what is the approach that you guys are using, that Moms for Liberty, that you personally, you've said there's things that are happening. So how can moms in areas where they don't have a Moms for Liberty, or what exactly is the approach there?
Listen, it doesn't take like literally a special person or rich person, or it's just only take a mom that's
Mhm.
got enough with this situation.
Right.
Because when you are seeing the result on your children, you are going to say enough is enough,
Mhm.
and ready to take action. It doesn't take much time, but it takes time to get involved and to become a leader in your community. I became an example of courage and simply want to make a change in your small world, which is your community.
Mhm.
And I think if all our moms, if I made a change. I am from Colombia. I just became citizen 8 years ago, and I
Wow.
barely speak English. This is not my first language, and I was so passionate about education and educating well this generation that you can also make a change. It's
Mhm.
very simple. You join a chapter, or either you create a chapter.
Okay.
And what it means for that, it means that you're going to revise or check the curriculum, academic curriculum. You are going to check everything surrounding the education of your children. If
Mhm.
it's something that doesn't stick with you, with your values, make a change. It is going to start at the school board, is going to start at the library in your school, is going to start in so many places, but you can make a change.
Mhm. How are the schools receiving the Moms for Liberty chapters? Are they doing it resentfully, or is it they're welcoming the input? What are you finding from the teachers, from the administration? What kind of pushback, if any, are you getting?
Well, listen, we became it's like, for some we're receiving like heroes, and for others we are like a threat. It
Okay.
depends on the uh if they are pushing or not this Marxism ideologies. Most of the schools are infiltrated by
Mhm.
globalist people, by LGBTQ community, that they have a goal to indoctrinate your children. So
Mhm.
obviously they don't want Moms for Liberty, because they know that we are going to fight for the innocence and integrity of our
Mhm.
children, that
Mhm.
we are not going to allow any groomers around our children. Other
Mhm.
schools, and thank God, most of them, they see us like a hero. Finally someone is addressing these issues that they are causing so much pain to this young generation, because is detrimental for this young generation, even deadly. And
Mhm.
when you realize that all these Marxist ideologies just lead to confusion and
Mhm.
anxiety and deep depression, and even lead to suicides, and then you realize you need a mom that take action. That's why we always get into moms that they are ready to make a change. If Because the system right now is going to take less than 6 months to take your perfect child into an
Mhm.
activist, or into someone else that you are not willing to give up.
Mhm.
So pay attention, because for example, in states like California, they,
Mhm.
they are going to simply take out the guardianship of your child
Mhm.
if
Mhm.
you do not agree with the transition.
Mhm.
This is insane. This
Yes,
is goes
it is.
against any nature. This is go against any any common sense,
Mhm.
because the parents are the only persons that know the history of each child, and is obviously essential for a child to keep a good relationship with every parent. All
Mhm.
the parents have the fundamental right to direct upbringing, education, health, tradition, cultural, everything about the child. not a politician, not a teacher, not any other authority that is going to take that place. That's why mom
Mhm.
and dad, I repeat, always parent, you have to be aware,
Mhm.
pay attention every day, every single day of any
Mhm.
little change. It can be from just, I want to cut my hair, I don't want
Mhm.
to use any more makeup, or I like to put something in
Mhm.
my breast to
Mhm.
hide my breast, to conceal my breast, or it can be very small things, but be
Mhm.
aware of what they are looking, because one of the major threats that we are having,
Mhm.
and our big challenge, are the social media, and that
Right.
became one of the best friends of your children. Your
Mhm.
children pass at least 3 hours to 6 hours daily in
Mhm.
social media. They are
Mhm.
not passing 6 hours with you talking about values, talking about these topics. They are listening and being manipulated by this social media.
Yes. Well, and you were talking about the school system that they may come home with new ideas. So are there key, you're giving some really good advice and insight into the little changes that we may see in our kids. But are there trigger words or things that we need to be paying attention to that's coming home in their homework or in their textbooks, or are there things that we can actually help our kids say, if you hear these terms or you hear this subtle thing, is there some way we can help, just even get our, see some red flags before we've got a burning fire? Are there things that they're using that are specific we can begin to watch for, um, in the school system that you?
Definitely. I always say to the parents, check the history of the internet of your child, the Safari or the any other browser that they use. They have a
Mhm.
history. Check the history, because all the things that they are looking for, you
Mhm.
have to address these topics before they find out from
Mhm.
other sources. So for me, for example, I'm going to give you three example, and it's very clear. I remember uh one of my child in second grade, it's my boy,
Right.
and
Okay.
he arrived with this little head, very sad. Is And I'm like, Papi, what happened? And he's like, well, mom, never mind. I'm like, either you tell me,
Mhm.
either I'm going to figure it out. And then he's like, okay, so at school they told me that I can get pregnant, and I don't want to get pregnant because I think this is for moms, this is for girls, and I don't want a baby inside me. And I'm like, well, what are you? So what do you think about it? And he
Mhm.
said the first thing that I did, it's when I arrived home from school, he Googled it, can
Mm.
men can get pregnant? That's why
Wow.
I'm telling you, always look for the history of your children in
Mhm.
internet. And I'm like, okay, what do you find out? So Google told me, yes, men can get pregnant. I'm like, okay. And what else? What do you do? Well, mom, I ask Siri in your phone. Siri, can men can get pregnant? And Siri simply told me, yes, men can get pregnant. So you know
Goodness.
what I mean? It's always the history in the phone, or in the computer, or and at that moment I was just at the point of laughing, obviously, and at the point of like, oh my god, I can't believe at what point they can confuse your child. Yeah, the same child that believes in Santa Claus, in the Tooth
Yeah.
Fairy,
Mhm.
in all this, you know uh, personage, that character that
Yeah.
you can create, because they are very vulnerable. At that moment, my 10-year-old Natalia,
Mhm.
she comes and she's like, duh, you didn't look in the right place. And he's
Uh,
like, what?
yeah.
So look in the Bible. In the Bible is the truth. You find the truth. And yes, they found out that in Genesis, God created man and woman. And my
Right.
son, at that moment of relief in his face, he's like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Like, my beautiful son, look, come,
Oh
come,
my
come, puppy. and
goodness.
and but listen, for me it's imperative that the parents know how important is to check on your child every day, because
Mhm,
every day they're gonna find out stupid
mhm,
things at school. They are
mhm,
not growing academically, they are growing in stupidity. And let me tell you, they are not going to hide anything, and they are
mhm,
going to confuse your child in the most sublime
mhm, mhm.
aspect in their lives. Let me
Yes.
tell you, they are not clear, they are not openly going to tell a story in the front of everyone, like, okay, today we're going to see the class of math or history. They are not going to say, okay, today's class LGBTQ class. They are not.
Right.
This is hide, conceal in their education. They put
Mhm,
books, they put posters, they put stickers in their doors that says safe space. And
mhm,
safe space on under they have uh, a website,
mhm.
GLSEN, which is for transgenders, which is they teach you how to hide
Oh
your
my God.
preference from parents. So their main goal is to separate parents from kids, to
Mhm,
break the family. That's why this society is so falling apart, because when you try to attack dearly the nucleus of
mhm.
the society, which is the family institution, you're going to break society. This is why
Yes.
violence is rampant. This is why children are so divided and so
Mhm.
opposed to each other. That's why they hate our country. They hate each other. They hate their bodies. They hate
Yes.
so
Mhm.
many things. So,
Yes.
mom and dad, talk to your children. Don't be afraid. You're stronger. You are the guidance of these children. Don't
Mhm.
be afraid to have a conversation with them. It's not their fault. It's not your fault, parent. It's the fault of the educational system.
Mhm. So you said that he came home from school second grade with these ideas. So were you able to go to the school and talk to the teacher, or was was it something that you could address at the school board? I mean, are these things that we, because our kids only, it's one thing for our children, just us to be able to correct them, but do we have any leverage to change things at the school level to protect our kids, at least at some extent, to the things they're being taught? We have to know what they're being taught, but is there anything that can be done in the school boards with the curriculum? Is there anything that Moms for Liberty is doing that way?
So this is the point, Anna. This is what I'm telling you. They conceal the information. When I
Okay.
address the school back
Okay.
and give my point, they denied everything, because it's
Oh,
nothing is in writing. Nothing is really an instruction. It's something that they just said it in
mhm,
the middle of the class, that is not even, for example, the teacher is, maybe the teacher asked the question to lead another student, and the student say yes, men can get pregnant, and lead the that's why I'm told you they are infiltrating. And
wow.
it's for me, as a terrorist organization, that they are simply implying inside the education, and you cannot see anything. They are simply there. They
Mhm,
know how to manipulate children. They know how to talk
mhm,
with your children, how to put things and sits inside their minds, how to pervert
mhm,
them, and lead every single conversation they have into an opportunity to lead them to these gender ideologies. This
mhm,
is so unfair,
mhm,
because the parents, if they hear something you are not immediately going to address, thinking that maybe I'm not going to
mhm,
pervert their mind, but actually, if you're not going to tell them, other authority is going to tell them, either the cartoons, either the
mhm.
Siri in Google or TikTok,
Right.
or at that point their teacher. But obviously, if perhaps you find out that there is a book, a pornographic book or
Mhm,
something like this, that you have the proof to show that they are indoctrinating our kids, of course there is so many
mhm.
sites that you
Yeah.
can address on that. I actually have it here in some paper. um
Mhm,
now, See, yeah, so, yeah. So you can go to the human relations communications
Okay.
and look at it in Google, and you can make any complaints. There's so
Mhm.
many ways to do complaints, even directly to the school. However, if you do a complaint directly to the school, but you do not copy an email to the
Mm,
higher position, is going to stay at school, and the school is going to deny, is going to stay in the same school, they are not going to do anything
right.
else. They are there for that, and in front of you they are going to say, oh, really? No, we're not, never they're going to deny everything. That's the point, parent.
Mhm,
Don't allow them to lie in front of you. You
mhm,
know the truth. Now I'm telling you what they are doing. So please be brave, be courageous, and especially taking hand the driver's seat in the car, and
mhm,
defend your children, protect your children, talk to
mhm,
your children. It's very important. It's not their fault. Don't never say you are
mhm,
very dumb, or how stupid you are to thinking about that. They are not. They are
mhm,
telling you, and how they are, everything they are learning from school.
mhm,
And so be very open mind to receive that information,
mhm,
and to elaborate at one point constructive conversation with them.
mhm.
And obviously, for us, our weapon is truth. Always the truth. Tell always the truth to your children. And
Mhm,
when you keep up with that pattern, they're gonna trust in you, even if you think they have been indoctrinated, they keep under their spell. Don't worry. Keep
mhm.
the child at that moment only with the truth,
Yeah.
confidence, truth. Be
Mm.
strong. Be um always the same person with them.
Yes. That's amazing. That's amazing. So you've given just some really good sound things. First of all, keep track of your kids. Keep those conversations going. Make sure to talk to them every day, which I think, we get busy, we get on our own phones, we have to finish up work, we're fixing dinner, we're doing laundry. And sometimes it's hard to stop and just, oh, there's something going on here, or, how was your day? What did you learn? Do you have any questions? Just keeping the conversation going, I think is something we've lost, even through technology, making ourselves disciplined enough to put the phone down, to shut the computer, to be present when our kids are present. Um, and then you also were talking about how that we can stand up to the school, but we have to be vigilant. That's what I'm hearing. That when we go, don't be surprised that there's going to be denials, but we have to keep pushing to the next level to make sure that we're heard. Um, and it sounds, honestly, it's just very discouraging. So
Well, it's
how would you
discouraging, but
encourage?
it's discouraging to know that they are using our tax dollar to indoctrinate our children, to
Yeah.
teach them to hate each other, to
Mhm.
change their nature, to change that they can change how they are, or to teach them, or to tell them that they have been born in the wrong body, or even they are using our tax dollar to pretend to be a mental health institutions, because
Yes.
that's when they became
Yes.
schools became mental health institutions. And
Mhm.
I do not allow this. If my child has any problem identify of anything different as a normal child, you have to communicate directly with the parents, and the parents take the moment to bring that child to a professional medical of my choice, not
Mhm.
the choice of their school, because they have now counselors and
Yes.
psychiatrists and
That are
team
on the phone
to
calls. Yes. They're
take in
doing.
hand the psychology of your child.
Mhm. Mhm.
Do
Yeah.
not allow this.
Mhm.
And if for some reason you are hearing from California and you
Mhm.
see that now your child is convinced
Mhm.
to be somebody else,
Mhm.
know that they have a plan for this child. The
Right.
plan is to
Sure.
take the custody away from you. Be smart. If
Mhm.
you get against the school, this is
Mhm.
going to play against the family. Because
Yes.
if you
Mhm.
allow them to keep your position that I'm not going to transition my child, not even socially.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand your point because this is common sense. But this school is going to have this as an instrument to take away to take away your child from you. That's a
Mm-hmm.
sad story. So play
Yeah.
smart. Let
Mm-hmm.
them allow them to believe that, yeah, sure. And it's better with the time you get to manipulate your child to take it out of this evil world, and
Mm-hmm.
to show obviously your child to another, probably another school, homeschooling.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
you're going to keep your child in your hands rather than give away. So know the legislation in your states is going to
Yes.
save you to lose from losing your child. Knowing the legislation is going to prepare you from few further or future issues that they are going to use against you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. So Moms for Liberty, you are you're, like you said, the fastest growing, one of the fastest growing nonprofits in the country right now. And so how can someone who's like going, oh my goodness, this is happening to me, this is happening to my child, how can they get involved with Moms for Liberty? I mean, the website, what's the address there? Is there a form? Is there someone they can talk to? Because I know that this is growing and it's not going to go away. This is the world we have to raise our kids, our grandkids in. And so we have to learn how to live within this world and yet still fight for our freedoms, for our families. So where can you point us to somewhere? Tell us what to do. Give us some.
Of course, Anna. Thank you so much. So it's very easy. First of
Okay.
all, go to momsforliberty.org, momsforliberty.org, and you're going to find out events. You're going to find out that we have a map with the chapters. And if we do not have a chapter in your area, in your district, you can create one. You can
Mm-hmm.
become a leader. We train you, we give you all the tools, all the information, and it's very simple. It takes probably 1 day a month to save not only your children, but the children in your community. So it's
Yeah.
really became an army of God defending the innocence and integrity of our children. So
That's
coming up soon, in less than 6 months, we're going to have our summit.
okay.
Annual summit is going to be our third annual summit. The past two other summit was sold out, so I encourage to start checking on that. It's going to be at the end of August in
Okay.
Washington, D.C., a city where you can plan to go there with your family or your children, plan
Mm-hmm.
for some museums, for some activities, but especially you, mom or dad, needs to be there learning all the tools or
Mm-hmm.
the legislative tools or the legal tools and everything that you need to defend not only your child, but the child in your community, to take
Yes.
action,
Good.
real action, to be with like-minded moms like you, moms and dads, because the last year we had 30% of dads
Mm.
attending
Mhm.
our summit,
Mhm.
and we had a lot of grandmas. We had
Mhm.
children's too. And if you say, well, what about if I go with my children or I don't have where to stay with my children? I don't know.
Mhm.
So let me tell you that we offer also at the summit, we also offer a club for the children. While you are in the conference, they are
Wow.
learning about history and learning about, it's like a mini camp.
Oh,
And at the
goodness.
end of the summit, they're going to present you what that was last year. I don't know what they are planning
Yeah.
for this year, but last year they did a theater representation of all the founding fathers, like
Oh.
celebrating our independence, and it
Mhm.
was like around the 4th of July. So
Mhm.
it was in Philadelphia, the place where all our country was born,
Yes.
and it was like celebrating our history. It was beautiful. It was so cute. My daughter, so my
Oh.
child, I think, was George Washington. my daughter was. I don't remember, but she was so cute reading the Constitution. It was very fun. It was cute.
Uh-huh.
So that was at the end. So
Mhm.
during the whole entire week, well, it was 4 days. They
Yes.
had so much fun with
Mhm.
other like-minded children in that summit. So we have our annual summit, and simultaneously we're going to have the march for kids. Let me tell you,
Oh,
this is something that we didn't publicly say in other media,
okay.
because we're preparing this. So for the
Okay.
first time, it's going to be like March for Life is going to
Yes.
be March
Yes.
for Kids in DC.
That's amazing.
That's amazing, because we have already 105 organizations that join our event. It's going to be an event. It's not going to be branded Moms for Liberty. It's simply going to be March for Kids with yellow umbrellas,
Um,
and this is going to be celebration for the kids. This is going to be protecting kids, defending kids. This
wow.
is going to be where everyone has to be in. Start planning from now. I know some of you need
Yes.
to take a hotel, need to take a
Mhm.
plane or the car, but plan for these 4 days with your child, with your family. We have everything for you. Do not worry about security, because we had everything in hand.
That's amazing. That is incredible. I'm going to bring my grandkids. I'm for sure. My
Please,
kids that are
yes,
still home. That's incredible. That's incredible. So also I wanted to just share with you, because I don't know if you knew this, that at CitizenGO, you guys can actually create petitions for your school district, to where
that's
if
correct.
someone doesn't feel like they can come to the school and knock on the principal's door or go to the school board meetings, and you can have thousands of signatures that you can print off and take with you, or you can just put on a disk drive, and a thumb drive, and you can take it with you, and you can say, these are the people that agree with us in this school district. And so there are ways that we can join together. It's because we're not alone. Like you said, what, there were 150 already joining for the March for Kids, and that is amazing. And
Yes.
it is so encouraging to know that we're
I
not alone.
hope that I hope
We're
your
not alone.
organization is going to be there too,
Yes, we
because
will
we need
be there.
all the organization fighting for our kids.
We will, Citizen Go will be there. That will be
Start planning
incredible.
from now.
We will. August. You said the 1st of
So it's
August?
going to be August 20. I'm going to be there from 28, 29, 30, 31st is going to be the March. At night, we're going to celebrate our gala.
Oh, that's
So take
wonderful.
out your clothes, your fashion, because
Oh,
Moms
that's
for Liberty
wonderful.
love to dress up.
You had on a fabulous dress at CPAC. I'll tell you what, you were fabulous. Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
God. I don't know, but Moms for Liberty love fashion too.
Oh,
So,
I'll
and
start.
then it's going to end up on September 1st. So start planning from now, end of August. Take your time to celebrate liberty with your family and go and join the annual summit of Moms for Liberty. The name is Joyful Warriors.
Oh, I love that. And with the yellow, that's going to be great. Oh my goodness. Well, Catalina, you are just fabulous. And I appreciate you so much, and the fight that you're fighting for us all, and for giving me more courage. And I know everyone who listens to you is encouraged to know that we can do something. These things are terrible, but
Yes.
we are a mighty army, and we're raising our voices. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
They underestimate the power of mom. And let me tell you, this is something that you need to know. So
Okay.
when I was in CPAC, I had the opportunity to get an interview with President Bukele, Nayib Bukele from El Salvador.
Yes, I got.
And uh, and
I
from
saw that
that
a little bit. Go ahead.
conversation,
Yes.
exactly. From that conversation that went viral, that this video went viral. You can name it, because I find people at the street saying like, "Weren't you the one who interviewed President Bukele?" I'm like, "Wow, this
Yeah.
is incredible." And from that, first of all, I think what the second day they did official announcement that no, they are not having any gender ideologies in their curriculum. And
Wow.
in the third, fourth day,
Mm-hmm.
President Najib Bukele made an executive order
Oh,
taking
wow.
out all the gender ideologies from school. So
Wow.
for me, from a mom, one mom making a difference in the whole entire country was a hit from Moms for Liberty, because that's our goal, to take
Yes.
out the gender ideologies and the
Mhm.
sexualization and
Yes.
the abuse from schools
Mhm.
to our children. We have to save our children, and moms can save the world. And moms did it. We
Yes.
did it already. Yes, that was fantastic. Obviously, it came from above. All
Yes.
glory to God, because He helped me through that path. But for me, it was amazing to know that now in El Salvador, we save so many kids in El
Yes.
Salvador. And now it's not only from a safest country, but a country without indoctrination. And
Wow.
you can see, you underestimate the power of mom, but moms are very passionate about their children.
Yes. Yes. And you give more passion to me. So you're incredible. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much. And there's something I don't think that I've told you about myself. I have 10 children. And
What?
so I know
Oh,
there, our youngest is 15. And so we also have 15 grandchildren already. So
wow.
we have been fighting this fight for 3 decades, more than 3 decades now, almost four. Oh my goodness. But
Wow.
it is a fight that's not just for moms, it's for grandmothers, it's for dads, it's for all of us, because they want to win, but we will win, we'll be victorious.
Absolutely. And I ask all of the moms and grandmas and parents that they are seeing this interview, share it with someone
Mm.
else. If you
Yes.
share it at least one time
Mhm.
with another person, you are giving enough information to save a child. And
Yeah.
probably God
You're
put that in your heart, and you are doing a great job today, and a blessing for a family. You can save the world. We all can save the world.
That's right. That's right. Well, with that, thank you so much for being with us, Catalina. And we will see you later. Good fight. I'll see you for sure in August.
Of course. Thank
Okay.
you,
And I'll
Anna.
go before
Hope to
then.
see you soon, all.
Okay. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye bye.